Hello everyone, welcome to the Perot Museum of Nature and Science. I'm so excited to be able to host each and every one of you all today. If you do not realize by now, I am not Derek, but I am going to do my best to fill in for him as best I can. But at the same time, I'm going to have to Perot style it. So with that said, it's also just to kind of give you an idea of how we host our workshops that we do with teachers. We do provide teachers with paper options, but for the most part, we also try to integrate as much technology, engineering as possible within whatever it is that we're doing. So today, for your introductions and networking activity, you all are going to participate in a scavenger hunt. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started back up. If there are any vendors that would like to speak, whether you're in this room or the orange room, please come to the red learning lab and hear what you have to say and project your voice, please.
Hello, I'm Holly with Board Science, and I have a table right outside the red room next to the cookies. And I want to make sure everyone takes home with you your food for your butterfly garden. I've got butterfly packets with dill and milkweed, so be sure to grab your butterfly packets. We're promoting our live specimens for spring life cycles. And the other thing I have out there is welcoming spring, and spring is kind of stressful for science coordinators because of putting together large orders. So I have a little bookmark for you talking about our required materials list that will help you with any scary big orders. I'd love to help. Thank you.
Thank you.
Digital, we actually, these are like hot off the press. I have a few catalogs that actually show some things. And I know it's an online world, but sometimes it is just nice to have paper to look at and stuff. So I do have a few of these if anybody would like to have one to look at. So that's all right. Thanks.
No. You're good.
Just a little bit. I'm Joel Palmer with Science Education Services. Most of y'all know me. I've been around a long time. I'm still here. I'm still cleaning microscopes and balances, providing staff development. If you need a card, I'll be glad to give you one. I don't have any jobs right now, so it's kind of open. This summer will be busy, but so if you need something cleaned or repaired, give me a call. We'll take care of you. Now you're up.
I am up. Okay. Seems so weird addressing both rooms. So I'm Jamie Long, your STEMscopes account manager. Really big news if you didn't hear last month. Courtney Williams is now our Vice President of School Success, which means professional development. So a lot of you have district-wide purchases, and that makes you eligible for free annual training, especially for new teachers. So you definitely want to get on the books so that we can get you training this summer, especially for the streamlined standards and how STEMscopes is addressing that. With the streamlined standards, I have 2 socials coming up. Denton is hosting one on March, sorry, I'm looking at this date. I think it's next week. Okay. Well, I'll find the date. If you're interested, let me know, but it's coming up. 28th. Thank you. March 28th. Thank you. There she is. Helping me out. Yep. Oh, 29th, right? 29th in Denton. And then in April, the Denton one will be lunch. And then in April, on April 2nd, from 3:30 to 5:30, we're hosting an evening social from like 4:30 to 6:30 at Eagle Mountain, Saginaw. So if you're interested, let me know. RSVP for that. If you have STEM summer camps, we have our dive-in engineering. We're doing some new pricing. So if you're looking for engineering prototyping, this is our new product. Let me know how I can help you with that. And if you have any questions about Streamline, if you're needing your renewal or anything, please contact going on right now where we were dropping the prices if you renew through 2022. So come see me.
Well, good afternoon. I'm Jackie Amos with NSTA. I think the one thing I want to say is that our new catalog is coming out. You might have gotten it, a few of you. And we're excited about all the new authors we're adding. We're adding a lot more information in elementary. And also we're adding more Spanish at elementary, which has been a concern I've had for many years with NSTA. So we're excited about what's new coming out. We're expanding the literature section quite a bit. And of course, ADI, we're excited about the new books coming out of ADI that will be soon, so I'm told. But we look forward to working with all of you. Thank you so much.
Okay, if there are no more vendors at this time, we will do our general session and reports. So please follow along the list. And first up, we have the legislation updates, TEA, SOBE. Sorry, SBOE. So no one in the red learning lab is moving. If you're in the orange learning lab, you have to come over here and talk. Stat, do we have an update for stat?
Oh, a staff.
Oh, Vashunda.
Is Jamie over there? Okay.
It sounds like Vashunda's echo.
If anybody is interested in volunteering for being on the MiniCast social, where am I talking?
Yes. Walk right here. Just right here.
I'll just get right here. I don't want to be too close. I don't want larger than life. Okay, for stat, if you are interested, for being on a committee and just being someone who wants to do an isolated type of thing, the committee chairs are looking for people. So if you would, you can email me, or I'm sure Laura Lee McLeod, who's in charge of the cast, overseeing the whole cast committees. But some of us are looking for some volunteers. I'm on special events, and I didn't know until the conference call yesterday, but I'm supposed to actually create at least 5 to 6 people. I found 2. I thought I was going to go with 2, but so if there's like 3 or 4 more people who just want to be involved, it's only the special events, which are super fun, which is usually like the social and some of the things that go on during the actual cast. So it's kind of, I would definitely call it the fun crew. So you could play if you're interested. Yeah, help. I need help.
T-Cella and TCES, please get ready.
T-Cella update, we recently had our winter meeting on March 2nd, March 3rd. Went really well. We introduced a new learning perspectives on science education. We're going to do a slow chat book study, and we're actually going to launch the questions for chapters 3 and 4 on Sunday night. So if you're on Twitter and you follow T-Cella, you will see it. And the hashtag to that will be TechSciEd Slow Chat. So that'll be kicking off and running all the way through the beginning of June, and we'll have some wrap-up piece at our summer meeting, which I was hoping to have a date confirmed by today, but we're having confirmation of space hiccups, so we'll let everybody know just as soon as we know.
Can you tell us the city that you're thinking about?
We're looking at Austin
And maybe they're not?
in June.
Okay.
In Austin, yes.
Yeah.
June in Austin, we would like to have TEA be able to come get a science update from the science department. So That's what we're looking at, and that's what I have for TCELA right now.
Do you guys think you're looking at a Friday again?
We're actually kind of looking at a Wednesday.
Okay, because I don't know if, I think some of us on Fridays, they go to like, 410s or whatever.
Yeah.
So I was just wondering if we could look at other days than Friday.
So we polled everybody at the winter meeting, and the largest number of responses was if we could do it on a Wednesday,
Oh,
because
cool.
on that Thursday, where it was previously, it was like the last day of contract for a lot of teachers,
Oh,
and they couldn't really, they had to be at work and check out, kind of. And then Fridays were bad.
okay.
Like everybody said we're off on
Okay.
Friday, so
Cool.
we're actually trying to get a Wednesday, which is making it a little trickier, but we'll see what happens.
Hi, I'm Samantha. I'm your Region 10 Science Consultant, and I'm here with Robin Ford. So just some reminders about the summer, because it's coming up a little bit faster, I think, than we think. We're going to be doing some road shows this summer that are open to our districts that play in the co-op, if you will. We're going to be in Ennis, Greenville, McKinney, Crandall, and Sherman all throughout June, July, and then the very, very beginning of August. So if your teachers are looking for professional development to fulfill their hours, the road shows have sessions that are 3 hours in length, so they can go to 1 or 2 depending on how long they spend. Each one of those road shows will look the same. So if you come to Ennis and then you go to Crandall, you may be highly disappointed that there's nothing new. So they're all the same. In other areas, we are working on our buildings. We're still renovating. Abrams is underway. Our Abrams building is looking good. They're making it more open, and they're making spaces for coordinators and supervisors to come, and if you would like to kind of watch a session without walking in and being like, oh look, there you are. They'll have some viewing areas in the back of our conference room, so we're looking really forward to it. A lot of flexible seating, a lot more meeting areas, and then they'll start doing the same thing to our office area at Spring Valley in about September. So we're going to be one building-ing it for quite a while. And the last time I mentioned that we have a new system coming out for teachers and coordinators and all of the above to find sessions that they would like to attend, whether it's dyslexia, science, mathematics, whatever. That's going to be released April 15th. We will have a new system. Just kind of on a side note, just to be aware that if your teachers are having trouble finding past registrations, to contact us. Please don't panic. Because as we know, when you switch to a new system, things like to get lost. So in the meantime, kind of a proactive step that we've asked our districts is to make sure that teachers are saving their certificates from past trainings, just to ensure that that doesn't happen. But if it does, just to please contact us calmly, and we will help them as quickly as we can. All right? Thank you.
If there is anyone else on the list, please come on up and give out your report. That includes informal sciences and DFW Science Supervisors Incorporated. You want to go first? Drew's going to go.
I can go.
Okay, you can go. You go first.
It's your house.
Hi, I'm Drew from the Professional Development Department here at the department here at the Perot Museum. We have a couple PD opportunities coming up that are open to the public on April, I already forgot, Mary, is it April 21st?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. April 21st, we have a geology tour of Dallas-Fort Worth, and also we're going to give away some more of our kits and train the teachers that attend on how to utilize those in the classroom. It's a really great workshop with some Perot staff, some of our senior mentor teachers, and Mary and I. And additionally, we have our life science workshops that are on April 14th and April 28th. Those are 2 Saturdays from 9 to 3. Same kind of deal. We'll have some Perot staff, some senior mentor teachers, and Mary and I to lead those workshops in Fair Park. Additionally, the applications for the Institute are now open. It's rolling admission. You can find those applications on perotmuseum.org. And because it is rolling admission, if you have teachers that would like to apply, it would benefit them to get those applications in as soon as possible. Other than that, if you have any questions about PD we do or anything about the Institute, feel free to email us at teacherworkshops@perotmuseum.org. Everything you need to know is on your little handout in the middle of the table. And there's flyers outside the hallway. Thank you.
Kathy Bartholomew from the Fort Worth Museum of Science and History, and thanks for everybody to be here today. The Inquiry Institute is June 11th. The first STEM Academy, the K2 STEM Academy, is June 25th. The 3 through 8 is July 9th, and they're open for registration now. I have flyers if you want them, and I'm in the next room, so you can just come visit me, and I'll give them to you. Guitar, the instrument that rocked the world, is showing right now. It has the world's largest guitar in it. It was built by high school students in Houston, Texas. And so it's kind of fun to see. Doesn't sound very good, but you can play it and you can walk on it. So that, in companion with that, we have an Omni called America's Musical Journey that is really, really very cool. And we are showing the Rolling Stones concert as well. So. And I will tell you that coming in May is grossology is coming back. And it's going to be companion with animal grossology this time. So should be a fun thing.
Justin Miller, Dallas Arboretum. We have 4 PD sessions left this school year. The last Saturday of this month, I'll be doing an art and science collab workshop. So we're looking at how art teachers can support science teachers but still meet their standards. And that's a Saturday 6-hour. And then the last 2 Wednesdays of April, the first Wednesday of May, we have our Wednesday evening sessions that include wine and snacks with the PD. So those are all on our website, just dallasarboretum.org/PD. They'll take you right to that. And we're starting to plan out next year's PD sessions. So if you're in a district that can't do custom PD with us and you're looking for certain topics, feel free to talk to us, and we'll see how we can tie those into our workshops as we plan out next year.
Hello, Colin Johnson with the Dallas Zoo. We have 4 Saturday workshops left for the end of the year. April 7th, North American Wildlife Expedition. April 28th, Wilds of Africa. May 5th, The Zoo, The World in You. That's an early childhood one. And May 19th, we have Project Wild. And then we have our Texas Horned Lizard Expedition, June 8th through the 10th. And our Summer Science Institute is June 11th through the 15th. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Christy Connor with the STARS program at UT Southwestern, and just wanted to tell you guys about our summer camps that we have coming up. We put some flyers out on all the tables. The camps are for teachers and students. They're professional development for the teachers, an intro to the topic for the students. So we're offering biology, chemistry, and physics, which we've done for the last several years. And this year we're piloting a new shorter version of our camps, and it's a 1-week biotechnology camp. Teachers are paid a stipend to participate. If you're not familiar with the format of the camps, we have 2 master teachers who work with 10 teachers, who train and coach 10 teachers. And then they get to practice by presenting that material to 30 students that we bring in. So for biology, we'll have 30 rising 9th grade students will be taking biology in the fall. Applications are being accepted right now, and the deadline is April 1st. We'll accept 10 teachers and 30 students into each camp, so please share that information with your teachers. Thanks.
All right, thank you. If there are no more reports, we'll go ahead and get started with the professional learning for today. But before I do so, how did you enjoy Goose Chase? Good, awesome.
Is there
I'm so glad you asked. I'm going to actually show you all. So when you're working with Goose Chase, you actually build it online. So you'll have your online account and you build it online. And the process of building it is so easy. It was just wonderful. So since Mary already had a paper document done, she sent it to me, and I literally just copied her names for each one of the missions. So when you go in, you click there for your game information, and that's where you go in and you upload an image if you choose. You give it a name, a description, the location, and that's optional. And you can also give it a password. So that basically means that if a person doesn't have the password, they cannot access your particular game. So for instance, if you wanted to say that it's, you wanted to run it and you wanted to run two, I don't know, I'm just saying, for like a lunchtime and an afternoon time, and you tell your teachers, when we come back after lunch, we're going to run another goose chase, and you happen to have some teachers that never really make it back from lunch all the time, but I'm sure none of you have that at all. You could offer another password, and so that's where you, so they can't be like at Starbucks chilling, saying, yep, I did it, y'all send me your pictures kind of deal. Then once you go there, you click where it says mission, and the mission is where you go in and you add each one of your activities, and you just click the insert button and you name the mission, and you determine if you want it to be a photo or video, text, or GPS location, and then you just save the changes. And when you save the changes, it'll just put it in queue with all of your other ones. For the teams, you can decide if you want them to play on teams or as individuals. And then you can pre-create teams, which is the option that I did, so that when you all came in, you just automatically picked the team, found the people on your team, and went out and had some fun. Here's where you actually start, so you can determine how long you want it to go, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, you can go 7 days. And in some cases, I think I heard someone say that you could even go longer than that. Not really sure. My option has up to 7 days. But I did see, heard of a person who had one that was ongoing, and he was up to a couple of months. And then once you get into the game, I don't know, did any of you all play with some of the options there where you can actually see what people were posting? So there you can actually start to see what people were posting and what they were saying. So then if you weren't really sure like what to do or what the question was asking, you would be able to kind of reference what someone else had already done and know that, okay, or if you posted a picture that didn't include everyone because you only halfway read the instructions, you could see it like, oh man, it's supposed to be the whole team, and you can get with everyone else. The leaderboard, which of course everyone was waiting to see, but it's okay because you all had access to it as well. So you know exactly how you were doing and how you fared. So when we get to the leaderboard, it's completely up to you if you want to do it on who completed first, who just completed the mission altogether, exactly where they were with the points. You can also decide how many points to give each mission. So we just basically said that all the missions were the same. But some missions you may decide way heavier than others, and that is your choice. So like I was saying earlier, this is Goose Chase, and just another way to digitize a scavenger hunt. With that said, let's get into the PD for today. As I said earlier, I am going to be the person that is leading your professional learning for today, and it is going to come from the book Drive by Daniel Pink. Raise your hand if you read that book. Okay, you people, you keep it in your head. That's all I have. Keep it in your head, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. Keep it in your head. So before we get, Mary, you leaving? Oh, okay. I'm ready for you. Sorry.
Is there a way that you can show the participants in Explorer the actual screen rather than the people watching the screen?
Yes, I thought it went to them, but it did not go to them.
So
Okay.
the next activity.
I will come in there. Yes. I am so sorry, Orange Lab. I will make sure that I come by and show you all the same thing that the Red Lab had the opportunity to see, because we want to make sure that there is equity in the learning that goes on here at the Perot. Without further ado, Mary's going to come up, and she's just going to tell you a little bit about the GIDS training that I have mentioned to you all, which again is a free training, and she's just going to tell you a little bit about that.
So like Vashunda said, you can see our Gives kits stacked up here that are ready for the next teacher training. We'll be doing this again on April 21st. A few years back, the Gibbs family gave a gift in honor of James A. Gibbs, who's a prominent geologist in this area, and asked us to create a set of kits that could be distributed out to teachers so that they could take geology into their classroom and provide them the materials. So we've developed 4 different kits, and I'm not going to read you the slides because nothing drives me crazier than people just reading the slides to me. So basically, here's what you're going to get in a kit. You're going to get the nice big box with everything that you see in the kit. You also get a USB drive that has all of the documents that you need, as well as student handouts, and if there's a PowerPoint, then that will be in there as well, plus a 5E lesson plan for 3 of the kits. The K through 2 rock and soil kit does not have a 5E lesson plan. They're just the individual activities, but they're still lined out very clearly with what the teacher needs to do in the classroom. Most of the lessons are standalone, so they can do everything that we've provided, or they can just pick out pieces. You know, there's the only lab that has to be done in order is our fossil kit, because it's a mystery. What happened to our mammoth Ellie Mae? How did she die? And if you space that one out or do it in the wrong order, you find out how she died before you collect the clues, and it just doesn't work. And then there's also a literature connection in every bag, so you get a, where'd it go? You get the nice little book pouch, and then we have different literature that goes along with geology. And it varies from like a true book with, you know, real life pictures to graphic novels to easy read books. And we even have a couple books that have poetry about rocks. So, yeah. So these are the 4 kits, just to give you a real quick overview. We have rocks and soil. This one's really targeting K through 2. It's looking at sorting the rocks and magnetism. Does it sink? Does it float? It aligns really strongly with those K through 2 TEKs. And again, I'm not going to read you these, but anything in red are the readiness standards, and then blue is my code for supporting standards. So you can see we have 3 readiness standards covered, and I didn't even list out the process standards. There are way too many. And then we have all of the learning objectives as well. I'm not going to go over those. This is rocks and minerals. This one's really targeting grades 3 through 6. So looking at how rocks and minerals are used in our world and industry. So for example, looking at gypsum, you find it in the ground, and then we use it to make, anyone?
Drywall.
Drywall, yes, sheetrock, drywall, perfect. 8 for the day. So this one is looking also at rock cycle. And so we have a couple activities in there that walk them through the rock cycle, including the starburst activity. And then Flynn has an excellent rock cycle activity where they roll some cubes and they go all the way through it. Again, there's your standards. Then we have our fossil kit that I was just mentioning. This one is all about what happened to Ellie Mae. If you missed her, she's up on level 3 right underneath the stairs, so you can check her out before you leave. She was found in this area. Anyone know where? Yeah. So she's named after where she was found. She was found in Ellis County in the month of May, so they named her Ellie Mae. Yeah, and so there's a math activity where students have to calculate fractions. This is targeting 5th grade. There's one standard in 5th grade for fossils. And so they have to calculate fractions and determine the pollen. Is it working?
It zoomed in, yes.
Oh, yay! And then they also have to use evidence. There's some drawing skills, so some art's included, as well as some writing skills. And they have to end up doing a claim, evidence, and reasoning at the end. And then our last kit targets 8th grade, but some 4th grade teachers have really fallen in love with this one as well. Overplate tectonics, that's the one that's sitting out here. So it has the Pangea puzzles that can be put together in multiple ways, looking at how Earth has changed. It has the fault block models, sponges, so the kids can make their own fault blocks, and so on and so forth. So, and you're welcome to take a look at that one that's up here. So, yeah, that's it.
I'm holding it up because this is what they can see. I gave you all this sheet right here, and it is basically a Padlet that I created, and everything that you need, like you can access the PowerPoint, it's on this Padlet. We are right now streaming live. If you wanted to tweet that out and share it with your peeps, you can access that from the Padlet. everything, the instruction sheets for the goose chase, that's on the Padlet. So if at any time you feel that you cannot see what is being shown on the image above, just please take a look at the Padlet and you should be able to get whatever resource. And if for any reason there's something that we did not include and you're like, hey Vashunda, I really would like to have whatever, you can let us know in this meeting and we'll dump it on the Padlet. So it's kind of the same thing as using a Google folder, but I just kind of like it visually. It's appealing to me. So that's what we have right now. So without further ado, one of the things that in Drive, what they are talking about, of course, is just looking at how we go about doing the things that we do every single day. And so to begin this presentation, I'm going to have Mary come up and work with the red lab, and Drew is going to come up and work with the orange lab, and we have a little activity for you. So you may want to clear just a little bit of space. They're going to bring you some supplies, and then they'll provide you with the instructions on what to do next. Both rooms were given the exact same challenge, except with a tweak. The red learning lab were actually trying to beat each other or each group in a competition for an opportunity to win this for their district. So ideally, but it was only going to be given to the first team. So the thought process, according to Daniel Pink's book, was that what was going to happen is that everybody was going to work as diligently and as hard as they could. But after the first team got it, everyone else were going to be like, I missed out. Nah, that's all right. It'll get on there some kind of way. And so, however, Mary tells me that y'all all, this whole room, overachievers, intrinsically motivated individuals, I love it. Didn't think about that when I was thinking about the presentation. Y'all kept working, and that it was more kind of like, oh, yeah, I got this kind of deal. Well, the room in the orange lab, their motivation was just to be able to have bragging rights against the red learning lab. So that was what intrigued them. It was like, yes, pop my collar, I'm better than them kind of deal. So they continued to work, and they didn't really look around at other people. It was just kind of like, yes, I kind of remember, I kind of got it, let's do this. So in hindsight, this room did outperform the orange lab. Y'all did. And I can't remember what the times were, but I want to say that y'all were about a minute apart from each other. But then I guess that kind of goes to show that, you know what, maybe sometimes those carrots do work. Have anyone read Daniel Pink's new book that just came out, When? That has to do with the scientific evidence for when you are most optimum in your operating or when you're functioning or when you're doing things. And depending on exactly what it is that you're doing, depends on the time of the day that you will function at your best. So I'm hypothesizing that this group right here, y'all just function really great after y'all eat lunch. That's what it is, and that's why y'all did so well. But if I had done this the first thing this morning when we first came, the orange room would have beat y'all because they function better in the morning. So that's what I'm going with. Thank you, Daniel Pink, for bringing that back together. So now, this particular video, or this particular image, I know that y'all are already saying, oh, here we go again. The images of the old school. We already know exactly where you're going, Vashunda. And you're right. But my mind was telling me, if I look at a science classroom, surely it won't look like this, right? Yeah, because they have lab tables and they get to sit in groups. How many of you have had the wonderful opportunity to do observations? And it looks like this. What is that? Rows using lab tables. I'm telling you, those science teachers are so thinking. So basically, one of the things is that we have to think about, when we think about what it is that our children need,
We're trying to zoom in on the PowerPoint.
oh, okay.
Continue the rest.
In order, as we're trying to figure out what it is that our students need in order to become these collaborative, critical thinkers, we also have to think about what is it that our teachers need. So many of us are so focused on what we got to get for the kids, what we got to get for the kids, what we got to get for the kids. But the reality is, regardless of what we give to the teachers, once they close the door, we don't know what's happening. They don't have a camera in their room, basically broadcasting it live on YouTube. So we don't know. What we're hoping is that they are intrinsically motivated and that they truly believe that every child can learn. But that's all that we can hope for. So now, we used to operate under the idea of no child left behind. Y'all remember those times? Yes. No child left behind. And for me, when I would think about no child left behind, that basically meant, and this is for me, there was this grade, this score, and every kid had to get to this score. And because no child is left behind, those kids that are at that score, above that score, close to that score, you're good. The ones down here, I got to do everything, and I'm pouring all my resources into you to get you to that point. So, but what happens to the kids that are way down there, and what happens to the kids that are up here? In essence, they kind of get stagnant. They might not get left behind, but they become stagnant. So I was super excited when we became, or started, or accepted, or adopted the act, Every Student Succeeds. Because now, at least in my mind, that basically means that we're now looking at growth. Regardless, we're taking the babies where they're at, and we're looking at growth. And I'm certainly hoping that that means that we're taking teachers where they're at, and we're looking at growth. Daniel Peake said that in the healthcare field, that they had this issue. People were always getting sick. If they go to the hospital, all people always get sick. And then, you know why people are getting sick inside the hospital? Because you go to the hospital to get well, right? Why were people getting sick in the hospital? Anybody know what the issue that they were having? Hand washing. They didn't want to wash their hands. Ew. As science teachers, I know y'all all want to be like, ew. So they didn't want to wash their hands. So they did like a little campaign. And in the bathrooms and by hand sanitizers, they put up 3 different signs. One of the signs said, wash your hands. It could save your life. The other sign said, wash your hands. It's the thing to do. And the third sign said, wash your hands. It could save the life of your patients and others. Which one do you think they were more motivated to actually wash their hands? Because 2 of them actually ended up with the exact same results, and one had a drastic increase in getting the people to actually wash their hands. Which one do you think had the drastic increase? Wash your hands, because it could save your life. That's what I thought too. Yeah. No. Yeah. We are all wrong for those of you who said that. But that's what I thought also. Any other ideas? Exactly. Wash your hands, because it can save the life of others. I mean, in hindsight, if you think about it, that's why they got into the medical field. You know, they went into it to help others. And I know it's hard for you all to believe, but that's why your teachers, most of them, a majority of them, went into education because they want to help children. They might not necessarily like kids. It's something totally different. But that doesn't mean that they don't want to help them. I think about my high school experience, and I think about my husband's high school experience. And whenever we talk about it, I'm just appalled. And he tells me this story about how when it was time for him to graduate, and he was like, yeah, I had a teacher that was like literally trying to keep me from graduating. I'm like, what? Trying to keep you from graduating? That just was just like, whoa, I can't believe it. So in hindsight, teachers get into the business of teaching because they want to not only make a difference, but also feel that they are contributing. Why do you think teachers get out of the business? Not making a difference, frustration, isolated, okay? No support. Excuse me, which, say it again, I heard someone say it.
Make more money elsewhere.
Make money, more money elsewhere. Okay. A lot of times people decide to make that change because they don't feel like what they're doing, that they're making a contribution. Or the work that they are doing, they're working so hard for the kids, and yet it's, you didn't do whatever paperwork that needs to be done. You didn't do whatever. And it's kind of like, you didn't get your class to that 70 percentile. And they're like, but Johnny was at a 2nd grade reading level and I'm teaching 6th grade. He's now in 4th grade. Can I get some kind of love? And so that's one of the things that Daniel Pink goes on to talk about. He says that there's 3 main things that when we're looking at motivation. And those 3 things are some of the things that we try to basically implement throughout the entire day, not just this one moment in time. The first one was autonomy. The second one is mastery. And the third one is purpose. So when we're looking at autonomy, this morning, when we had our networking and meeting new people, even though I did tell you the activity that you were going to do, did you have to use the app? No, because it gave you some paper options. You can use paper if you really didn't feel like doing the app. Did I tell you what team you had to be on and who you had to be with? Kind of, sort of, a little bit, but not really. Okay, so you had some choice. Did I tell you what order you had to go when you went to look in the museum and actually carry out those activities? Did I tell you what you had to do? No. So when we're looking at autonomy, that right there in and of itself is so rich. Allowing people the opportunity to have some control over their task, their time, their team, and their technique. Again, with that autonomy, allowing people to have some control over their tasks, their time, their team, and their technique. That tell you exactly how you have to pose when you were taking a picture? No, that was completely up to you. So in some cases, if you chose that you wanted to do a video and do the wave, you could have did that. That was fine too. But that's one of the things that a lot of times that we're wanting our students to be these critical thinkers. We want them to collaborate. That's my favorite one. I want my students to collaborate. Stop talking. It is not time to talk. Oh, get back in your seat. You did not raise your hand. I'm just perplexed, you know. And at the same time, we're wanting our students to exhibit all these creative traits, but then we're telling the teachers, yep, this is what you need to teach. You need to teach it just like that. We spend lots of money to provide this curriculum for you. Yes, well, just like that. I was once asked, Vashunda, if you go into the classroom and the teacher is not teaching the curriculum the way the district has written, what do you do? And my question was, how are the students scoring on the tests? They're passing. They have good scores. I said, honestly, I would turn around and walk out and close the door. Because apparently what she's doing it right. Because I can't sit in my other spot and say, no, this is how it has to be done. Because you know what? She knows her kids. Now, I know some of y'all are like, what, Vashunda? But then what happens when I make her teach it my way? Because she can't really teach it my way because I can only do it my way. And she tries to do it my way, and then she fails. You know what's happening? She's blaming that stuff on me. And see, at least by letting her do it her way, and she succeeds, I can say, great job. And if she does it her way and she fails, and I can say, say, yep, this is what I'm gonna need you to do. And at that point, because I gave you autonomy, you know, and I'm not saying that it has to be full autonomy. You know, Google has it where they allow their employees to have 20% of creativity in their time frame. So in a given week, they're given 20%. Within that 20%, they do whatever it is they want to do. But they have to design a product, and they have to be ready to present that product. What if we allow our teachers, and there are some districts that are doing this, for when it comes to professional development, you know, that time that we have at the beginning of the school or whatever time that you may possibly be able to control, that you allow your teachers to decide what it is that they felt that they needed to learn and that they needed to grow. Instead of telling them, you know what, this is what you need, kind of deal. What if we gave them that autonomy? What if we approached some of the teachers, and not just some, approached them all, and see who would be interested. What if the next professional development opportunity in which you have your home district, that you allowed your teachers to present based on whatever it is that they want to present and what they feel strong in presenting, and you have a couple of sessions of those things that you have to do. And then there are some sessions that they have to go to, but then there are some sessions that they get to choose. What if? What if we give our teachers just a little bit of autonomy? Do you think that they would be more inclined to give the students some? That's a question. Oh, maybe. Okay. Because I mean, sometimes the teachers, you know, their supervisors are mean. I'm so sad. And then they go to the students and they're mean, and it's just so sad. And then the student walks home and kicks the dog because he's mean. It's so sad. So the last one, yes.
I can comment. I feel our district makes very huge strides we have like a conference style. So they have a lot of trips. But I would not necessarily say that now that it's been a few years of doing that, I think we're at 5 or 7, that I would say that necessarily has directly transferred to them letting loose of the reins in class. Now, it has definitely changed their surveys that they like the PD more. Mm-hmm. I think the content and the pedagogy is improving, but I don't necessarily think that it's transferred for them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's just, I mean, a comment. I don't know, but some of you all do conference style.
We do conference style.
Yeah.
Yeah. And do anyone else see it like starting to kind of, do you still feel like your teachers are holding the control reins very, very tightly?
I think it's teacher by teacher.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some teachers that are doing really good PBL stuff, and there's a lot of open choice for students and, you know, all that kind of stuff. But then we've also got some other cheats, like pockets.
Right. Yeah, me too.
Right, exactly. And of course, you already mentioned that the reason that we have those pockets is the control. Because what happens is if I let them have that freedom and I don't feel comfortable with that freedom, then I don't feel that I'm going to be able to necessarily manage that freedom. And if I can't really manage it when it comes back on me, it's because, man, I tried to let them have freedom and they couldn't even handle it. They couldn't, because Vashunda, these kids, Vashunda, these teachers,
Or they'll say the scope and sequence, like, they say there's not enough, they use time. They use time. I don't know if you guys hear that, but that's what I tend to hear.
Yes, yes.
Time, yes.
But you have to offer the option so that they can choose PD, but then you also have to provide, like, one of the sessions is focused on the management and the process of planning that goes into how to provide voice and choice in the classroom. So we're doing this for you, and then these are the steps we have to take to create something that you could go and choose. So when we're looking in the classroom, how can you take this to your classroom? Because just giving us choice is like going into Walmart. Just giving us choice and being able to walk around Walmart, that is helpful for my world, my Walmart, but when I go to someone else's Walmart, it throws me off entirely. I have to learn the layout and how to navigate. So because they are able to choose within
our PD structure, our conference structure, does not mean they know how to replicate it in a whole different world. They need to know what process we used to plan it for them, so they can do that for their kids.
And that actually kind of leads us into mastery, but it's also kind of like a springboard into thinking about that, is that what I just heard you saying is that I had the opportunity for several years to teach first-year college students. And they would be taking biology for majors. And this is the cream of the crop, because they are taking biology for majors. Yeah. Oh my goodness. And that's exactly what happened. They were so successful in the system that they were used to, that when they got into a system that they were not used to, oh man, and that's hard. That's hard to be in one system and you are a rock star, and you get into another system and it's like, what just happened? So then that means that us as leaders, we have to figure out a way so that our teachers and our students are successful regardless of where they're at, and that they're able to achieve the mastery. Because why is it, who does something other than education on the weekends and they get to pick whatever it is that they want to do, when you get to pick what you want to do? I mean, I'm keeping it real, because sometimes you don't get to pick. Anyone do anything other than education? Instrument players? Oh, there we go. What we got?
I go roller skating with my daughter.
Oh, I love it. When you said it, I just saw you rollerblading like on a team.
Not roller skating.
I love it. I love it. So now, Samantha, I'm going to up the ante just a little bit. I'm going to up it just a little bit. She is on a rollerblade team. What? Yes, a roller derby. I mean, she has knee pads, arm pads, and she's elbowing people. Oh my, can y'all see it? Oh my goodness. She is going. Her hair is blowing in the wind. She has a ponytail. Can y'all see that? Oh my goodness.
She's saying the smashing.
Exactly. So, what would make Samantha go and do that every other weekend? I mean, and every other weekend she gets home and she's like having to ice down everything because the reality of her age has hit her. I'm not saying that. That's really for myself. That's for myself. I'm telling y'all that it's for myself. And yet and still, you know, the hubby comes in and it's like, why do you do this every weekend? I don't know. And yet next weekend, she's getting the skates on and she's headed out the door. Why is it? Why is it that we do things that we continue to learn? Why is it that we continue to seek out things that we don't know a lot about?
Gratifying to learn something new.
Yeah, it's gratifying. We enjoy knowing something new. Exactly. So we want to master. Our students want to master whatever it is that we're teaching. Our teachers, they want to be great teachers. It makes them feel good. So that mastery is that second one that we have. And as Melissa was saying, not just within our systems, but so that they can be able to master in all systems. And the last one that I have for you is purpose. Why did you go to work this morning? I just want you to think about it. I mean, really think about it. I mean, nobody made you go to work. You still have some days. You could have called me. Just saying. I'm just saying. Why did you wake up this morning, whether your alarm went off or whether you just naturally wake up and you laid in bed or you popped right up out of bed and made the conscious decision to go and do it another day? Please answer.
I wanted to come here.
That was me. I was excited this morning. You saw me running around.
All right, woo! Because they were coming to the Perot. take care of?
Take care of teacher needs.
Taking care of teacher needs. Okay? So basically, there was a purpose. There was a reason. Why are you in the position that you're in? Why are you there? You know? You have choices. You could choose to remain. You could choose to leave. Just like we know we have a purpose for being where we're at. A lot of times our students, they don't know the purpose. And because we are not in the 19th century, we cannot say that the purpose is because I told you so. We cannot say the purpose is because you need to know. I tried to use that with my kids. I'm going to tell y'all another little joker. She pulled out Google on me. And she said, I don't need to, Mom. I could just look it up. Yes, honey, you sure can. She got me on that one. But what is the purpose? That's one of the things that we have to help our students as well as our teachers. Because sometimes our teachers, they don't know the purpose. They know that they want to teach kids, but they don't know the purpose for teaching kids. That the purpose is not that they make a magical grade, but it is truly, truly, truly that each individual child does what? See, a word popped into everybody's head. It wasn't necessarily the same word, but that's really your purpose. That word that popped into your head, that popped into your heart, that's why you got into this business. And that's why you continue in this business. Yes, we do lose some of our new teachers. Yes, some of it is out of frustration. Some of it is for other opportunities. Some of it is for money. But some of it is because they just don't feel like that they're making a contribution and that they truly have a purpose in the work. So according to Daniel Pink, yes, carrots and sticks, they work. That extrinsic motivation, it works when you're doing activities that are repetition and does not require any type of critical thinking. But when you are truly wanting collaboration, when you're wanting the ability to problem solve and think critically, people must have some form of autonomy, the opportunity to reach mastery, and the opportunity to find their purpose. Drive. Any questions? All right. Well, that is the So without further ado, if you do have any questions, that is the email so that you all can reach us. Again, everything is uploaded on that Padlet. If you want anything, at any time, like I said, if you want us to add anything, just let us know, either one of us. We will get that uploaded on the Padlet. And without further ado, it is time for breakout sessions. Secondary will be in the orange learning lab, and elementary will be in the red learning lab. And I guess if you don't have